We're at the Zen and the Art of Real Estate Investing meetup for December 2024, but these meetups actually started online during the pandemic in March of 2020 when we had nothing to do. We ended up doing 2 a week for New Jersey, 1 or 2 a week for Philadelphia, 1 for Boston, 1 for the west coast of Florida because we literally had nothing to do. And then as the pandemic ended and it got safer, we brought them back out in person, and now they run every single month, first Wednesday of every month, barring a holiday. And this is it. Relaxed vibe, just hanging out, networking only. That's the fun of it. The best way to figure out how you can eventually take action isn't only through podcasts and books, it's through people. People is the thing that eventually will get it done. So you can read books, listen to podcasts, hopefully listen to my podcast, you listen to Bigger Pockets. But what happens when you go to the meetups is you meet other people who are doing what you want to do or what you're already starting to do. You meet people who've done more than you, less than you, and those are the things that let you take action because you realize it's really not that hard. Everybody else is doing it, and you get much more of a connective vibe, and that's really the goal of these. We don't do speeches, we don't do a lot of things. We are instituting some things to make it a little bit more interactive, but generally they've just been networking events for people to connect and figure out the best way to get them from here to just here and then beyond.
So I learned about Jonathan's events probably through Bigger Pockets. I am from Clifton originally, but I live in Jersey City, and I was looking for real estate events to look for like-minded people because back during the pandemic, everybody was looking for ways to get into real estate, and I was trying to figure out, talking to people to actually learn how to do it. So I ended up finding Jonathan. He's like an active contributor on Bigger Pockets, and he seemed pretty knowledgeable, and he seemed like he was running this event. So did a little bit of Google searching, and I found him with his company, and went to the first one maybe a year ago. And I've been to 4 probably ever since. Actually, I also went to one in Florida too. So yeah, that was fun. You get to meet people from all over. You can learn how to troubleshoot a lot of problems that you might not have necessarily on your horizon, but it's the active problem of the day. Actually, it's funny, I met the guy that was just the story regarding Jonathan's last newsletter about a person that was graded for a 3-family in the state, but a 2-family in the city, and then one overrules the other. I met the guy today. It's pretty interesting when you actually get to learn about these things and, consider it for yourself for next meetings. It makes you just wiser as an investor. My goal in real estate investing, I think there's something nice to be said about Jonathan's approach to it. I mean, he comes from a pretty creative background, and one of the cool things that you get into when you start looking into it from like a short-term rental perspective even, is the creativity that you get to go employ in it. So that was one of the things that kind of initially introduced me to this. But also, the returns that you have for taking a little bit more risk on like a short-term rental, you get rewarded for it. So I guess the semblance of profit as well as creativity is definitely a good mix.
Jonathan, I kind of I sent him like a cold message on Bigger Pockets like 4 years ago. I said, hey, would you like to meet for some coffee? I'm trying to learn about real estate, and I saw some of his posts, and I said, this guy's knowledgeable, so let me kind of see what I can learn from him. And here we are, like 5 years later. It sparked an amazing friendship. We've worked together on a couple of real estate deals. Both he represented me on the buyer side and the seller side, and actually he just helped me buy my latest house just a few months ago. In my time with Jonathan, I've learned it's been invaluable. He's a great dude, first off, before anything else, and he's a wealth of knowledge. I mean, it's almost like there's no situation that he hasn't been in, and he has the pedigree to match. So he's always been a resource for me, for my family, and I've been coming to meetups since they were on Zoom during the pandemic. So and we built a fantastic community then, and the community endures, and happy to still see some of the guys that I saw on my screen 5 years ago coming to these meetups now, and it's just been fruitful on many levels, both personal and professional. So this has been, this has been great. Jonathan's a cool dude. I would probably say we've all been in that exact same position where you're at, right? Like, just come. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Everybody here is welcoming. Everybody's, everybody's very forthcoming with what they've learned, with their experiences, and everybody's willing to share. And you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. So I'd say, come. Just leave those apprehensions at the door, and I guarantee you'll walk out of each meetup better than you walked in.